What's up, my Bigfoot fiends and Yeti friends? Toy Insanity here with Bigfoot and Yeti Project, episode 14. Today we're going to look at the Mezco figures. Mezco Bigfoot, Mezco Yeti. I got some of the other ones hanging out with me today that are similar in size, 4 to 5 inches. Now this is the first departure from toy companies and figure producers that have made both a Bigfoot and a Yeti. Mezco in their Cryptozoology series from 2003. This figure that we are unboxing for the first time. Bigfoot is breathing fresh air. Came out 18 years ago. I got a bio to read on the packaging. And then I'm going to introduce you to, what's this? Toy Insanity. How did you get a Mezco Yeti? I made it. I made it myself. In fact, the latter half of this video is going to be step by step how I made it. Taking the paint off, putting that paint on. Thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed. But first, we gotta get this guy out the pack, and we gotta read Bigfoot's bio. Cryptozoology series 2003. It's marked right here. Mezco Toys of New York. Also, back in the day, they did make Mothman and Jersey Devil. As far as I can tell, Loch Ness Monster was never even produced. Okay. So what I did was I bought one of these out of pack, made the custom. I bought one of them in pack, full eBay price. We are looking in for the first time. Bigfoot, right here. Origin, North America, first sighting early 1800s, distinguishing characteristics, large hair-covered body, reportedly to be between 7 to 10 feet tall. Encounters with an elusive hairy giant have been the stuff of legend for more than a century. There have been thousands of reported sightings of North America's most famous beast. Is it mythology or some undiscovered creature of biology? Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is a large, hairy, bipedal creature with footprints that measure up to 24 inches in length. Is he an ancient link between man and ape? Is he an undiscovered primate? Or is he a supernatural being with a message for man? Fantastic copy there. One of the best bios on any package. Now, the joints are stiff because these have a lot of paint on them. Now, of course, this is the Mojo figures. Bigfoot and Yeti, episode 3. That's the Safari figures, episode 4. And these are the Fortnite figures, episode 12. They are articulated. These are not articulated, but both of these have similar sort of paint applications to this one. These do not have the sort of washes and dry brush technique that are on the Bigfoot. I knew it'd be fairly easy to make a custom because of those paint techniques. Also, because I found it so hard to stand up, kind of last minute, after all the painting was done, I drilled a hole in his foot and just put him on one of the Fortnite stands. There it is. It does exist. At least one of one, Toy Insanity exclusive. Mezco Yeti. Now, the brand new one also has a hard plastic foot cast. And I think, honestly, my first time looking at it up close, I think they may have made this little piece from the actual foot of the figure. Okay, Bigfoot's always on the left, Yeti's on the right. For maximum consistency, Bigfoot and Yeti Project number 14. You can see the 3 colors I used in the eyes, the wash I gave them, and the dry brush with 2 different colors of blue. There's a little bit of silverish on the teeth. I think I did a great job, if I'm being completely honest. But like many custom painted figures, you basically end up disarticulating them because you can't really use them joints, after you get paint on. But okay, thumbs up the video and stick around because now I'm going to get into exactly how I made the custom Mezco Yeti. Okay, my first step in transitioning the Mezco Bigfoot into a Yeti was to boil the pieces apart. There seems to be 3 different types of plastic revealed. The hardest plastic are the joints, and then these. So these don't become supple at all when you boil them. the limbs and torso become supple enough to pry apart. And then the third type is this, rubber. The head is rubber, and his groin area is rubber. I also could have taken this off, but I didn't see the point. There is no waist articulation. Mainly, I just needed the parts, so these joints, that's the neck, and that's for the legs. I do not want those in brush cleaner. Brush cleaner will just dissolve that sort of ABS plastic. And the rest of these I'm going to put in brush cleaner. You can see the base plastic is the light brown. I need to take off all the dark brown, which is just paint. All right, I figured I'd go ahead and show you this step. In this bag is all the pieces to the Bigfoot that are not the joints. Because what I do is I just pour in a little bit of brush cleaner. I use a brand called Winsor & Newton. Okay, just takes a tiny bit. And then I've spent about 10 minutes just working them around in the bag. You know, paying certain close attention through the bag. You know, on the foot's gonna have 2 layers of paint. The toenails would actually be 3 layers of paint. And just about 10 minutes, the majority of the paint is off. So I'll go and show you this. To get the rest of the paint off, you know, it's gonna take some detailing with toothbrushes and toothpicks. And I tell you, I've done all the trial and error on this stuff. If you were to put the ABS sort of plastic in that, it wouldn't dissolve immediately, but they would become very sticky and degraded condition. You do not want those in. What you see here, the rubber pieces are translucent. That's going to be the head. And the groin sheath, again, it is just glued on. I don't need to remove that. And then you can see the base plastic on all the other pieces. One solid color, again, except for that and that. Now, if Mezco had made their own Yeti variant, those would have invariably been white. I'm not going to try to find anything to replace them. I'm just going to finish getting the paint off. You can see a little bit of paint is trapped under glue. I had to use acetone to get that off. The super glue that put this on. Again, the neck hinge was pointless because there's no articulation in it. It just pops together and then it's glued on. But so far, so good. I'm going to tell you, the brush cleaner did start to degrade the rubber. It did not affect the regular action figure plastic at all, which is probably PVC. And I did not put brush cleaner on the ABS joints. But the rubber did start to degrade. It started getting sticky. So I did not pursue getting the paint out of every crack. 2 rips formed on this, and I repaired them. Looks good to me, with rubber cement. Anyway, it's ready for painting. This is the paintless Bigfoot, ready to transition into full-on Yeti. Alright, I wanted to add a little something here because so far at this point, all the work I've done in creating this custom figure, I have not even compared it to the one that is currently still in pack. As you can see, paint's gone. Vast majority of the paint is gone. That was a success. But I gotta point out, I lost a lot of detail from the heat. Mostly the heat, because you gotta heat it to get it apart, and you gotta heat it back up to pop it together. You gotta make the major plastic supple. But from the heat and the chemical solvent, the brush cleaner, I lost a lot of detail in the 2 rubber pieces. The face. Hopefully you can see the one in the box. The face and the cross fur. Alright, this is just the last little segment on my custom Mezco Yeti. Alright. I ended up doing 3 coats of white. I did a wash with that blue, because of course you gotta do blue, and a dry brush with a different blue. Detailed the eyes. You can barely tell this, but there's a light coat of silver on the nails. Anyway, I'm happy with it, you know, except for the fact that as this progressed, I just kept realizing what a wonky and poorly designed figure it is. I finally just drilled a hole in its foot to get it to stand up. See what I mean? He don't want to stand up. To get it to stand up on a 4-night stand. At this point, I haven't done the beginning of the video that you've already seen. So I don't know how wonky that guy's going to be. Presumably just as wonky. But, you know, it was not fun. It was not fun at all. And in hindsight, I would not have stripped the paint off. Huge loss of time. I would have just obviously painted my 3 coats of white plus detail over that collar. I'm happy with the results. Thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for observing my custom project for the year. Overall, I'm happy. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it simply because, as I have surely said before, simply because Mezco didn't. Mezco left all the money on the table. Mezco should have done it. Should have done a Yeti variant. So I had to make my own. Did not enjoy it. But now it exists. Now I have it. Thank you.